Hi, my name is Valerie, and this is my 12th video on my no-poo experience. So my first no shampoo shower was June 1st, where I used baking soda and apple cider vinegar. And my last recorded video was August 4th, where I used raw honey dissolved in warm water, and I put that on my scalp. And we found that it did some cleaning, but it definitely is more of a moisturizing aspect, and it's one of those things that's probably going to take multiple tries before it really starts to show results. So today is August 20th. I've had a few showers since then, and I am going to try a new ingredient that I think is going to be pretty awesome. So we have applesauce. This is plain applesauce. It's literally just made from apples and water and I think citric acid to, preserve it so that it can sit on your shelf for a while. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, ascorbic acid, which is basically citric acid. So this is supposed to clean your hair, condition your hair, because it's just like apple cider vinegar. They're made from apples and it's acidic, so it's supposed to help with moisturizing, conditioning your hair. And then it's also supposed to help with wax buildup. Now, I've tried a few times to prevent wax buildup with just apple cider vinegar where I don't wash it out, and it kind of works. I'll get into that in a little bit. But this is supposed to kind of just do all three things. So it's like shampoo, conditioner, and a protectant against hair wax. So I would put this in my hair, leave it in for like 5 minutes, rinse it out, and then don't use any sort of acid afterwards because this is your acid. And it may take a few tries for results to show. It actually says on the website that you might get more wax buildup before it starts to go away because of your hair going through the detox process, but we'll see what happens. This should be a very interesting thing to try because it's literally just you're putting it in your hair, leaving it, and then rinsing it out after. So we'll see what happens. Today is August 16th. It's been 3 showers since my last video. And after that video, I had decided out of desperation to look up no-poo and hard water. And I came across an article that was kind of what I thought was the answer to what I was looking for. So this woman, she had been doing no-poo for a number of years, and she basically was saying, if you have hard water, don't fight with it. Get a filter to filter out the minerals, or get, spring water, or get distilled water, because that's going to be so much easier to clean your hair with. And, I would agree with that. But if you feel like you're in a spot where you have to fight hard water, what are your options if you don't have those options available to you? Well, I kept scrolling down through her article, and she had a section that talked about if you need to deal with hard water, or if you decide you want to deal with hard water, that there is a possible option for you. If you take 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and half a cup of water, mix it together and put that in your hair, but don't rinse it out. Squeeze it out, but don't rinse it out. Like, let it sit in your hair for a few minutes and then squeeze it out and let it air dry. That is supposed to help with preventing the buildup from sticking to your hair. And so, of course, I felt like I was obligated to try this. And I did. My first shower was an egg white shower. My second shower was a quinoa flower shower. And this last one was a chamomile tea with honey instead of vegetable glycerin. Mostly because I forgot to put the vegetable glycerin in it. But I wanted to see if putting the honey into the chamomile tea would help my hair. And I think it did. So each time, my hair feels so clean and I love it. It doesn't feel resistant or sticky at all like hair wax is in it. But when I go to look in the mirror, I get this very stiff texture where like it feels clean. I can run my fingers through it and it separates out real nice, but that's just it. It separates real nice. It tends to wanna, at first it was more like a clump and not really like a stringy. Now that this is the third time I've done it, it's more stringy than clumpy. But when I go to comb it, it will actually do like this thing where it kind of like sticks out to the side a little bit, and it's almost like putting a hair gel in your hair. Like you can see it here. It's doing like this weird little up and out thing. And I'm guessing that the fact that it's more stringy now means that with repeated uses, it's doing what it's supposed to do. But apparently, the acidity from the apple cider vinegar, if you wash it out of your hair, as soon as the apple cider vinegar leaves, the minerals can then just build up on your hair. But if the acidity is still on there, then it prevents those minerals from bonding to your hair. But they didn't mention in this article, the lady didn't mention that it will make your hair do all this weird stuff. It kind of looks like my hair is wet. Like maybe I just walked out of a lake or something, and it makes me not want to leave my hair down. But if I comb it out, smooth it out real nice, I can put it in a ponytail and it looks clean and beautiful and nobody notices. So I would think that the main problem with this is because my hair is straight and fine and it is sensitive to weird stuff. And maybe somebody with coarser hair would have a better outcome. And it does feel really soft and it does feel clean though. So if you need to deal with hard water and you have hair wax in your hair, maybe this will help you out a little bit. And hopefully it works a lot better for you than it is for me. I am using it right now because I think that, having this clean hair will make it a little bit easier for me to style, which still is just braids, but, it, even with braids in, before when I had the hair wax, it did make my hair look a little bit dingy, and at least for this, it will help my hair to look, bright and clean, and I'm not crazy about it, but it's better than having hair wax in my hair. So I hope this little tip is helpful to you guys out there. So today we're going to do an applesauce mask. There's really not much to it. Basically, you just use enough to coat your hair generously. From root to tip is the instructions. There's no mixing, nothing. And then you leave it in your hair for an hour and rinse it out. Now, it did say if your applesauce is kind of chunky, you should probably run it through a blender to make it easier to apply to your hair. But if you buy something like this, from the store in this type of jar, it's probably super smooth already, and it's probably not going to be super hard to clean out of your hair or coat your hair. So I'm actually kind of excited to try this. Let's see how it goes. So from the get-go, I don't need to do much for you to be able to tell that I have stringy, oily looking hair. It looks very slick and shiny. You can kind of see that that it's very stringy, and you can even tell right here, just it looks separate and together, but you can probably also tell there's dark streaks down my hair. It's just super dark, oily, and there's a couple reasons why this has happened. So One, for the past 3 showers, I have been leaving apple cider vinegar in my hair to combat hair wax, and it has done that. I don't have hair wax on my hair anymore. It doesn't feel sticky or resistant. It feels really smooth. But I think the fact that it's not being rinsed out and those extra minerals are not being rinsed out, that it stays in there and it still affects how the hair looks. So at first it was really stiff, and then it started getting more stringy, and this is the current result. And because that's in there already causing the hair to be the way it is, that the excess oil coming off of my scalp, it's coating it really quickly and it's making it super dark. The other thing that we have is my very last shower. I decided to try tinkering a little bit, and I used chamomile tea with honey in it. I forgot the vegetable glycerin, unfortunately, but we had the chamomile tea, which is drying out my hair. We have the honey, which is moisturizing my hair, and I think the honey it does too good a job at moisturizing my hair, because then, we have the excess oil and it just adds to the amount of stringiness and the amount of darkness in my hair. Let's see if we can show it off here, but we have like these black streaks just going down, and it looks even worse on the inside. I think it looks darker on the inside than on the outside, but it's shiny and it's very smooth when I run my hands down my hair, but it's very dark and stringy looking. And another thing that I noticed, which is really weird, and I have a feeling this is because of the apple cider vinegar staying in my hair, because it's acidic and I have a feeling it's drying it out, is when I rub my fingers through it or try to put my fingers through my hair, I can feel that my hair is dry. It's not brittle, and it's probably because of the effect of the apple cider vinegar and the oil on my hair. It feels very slick when I run my hair through my fingers this way, but if I rub it, it feels kind of dry, which is a little strange to me. I don't know if anybody else has felt that, but that's definitely a new thing. Maybe it's part of the process, I don't know. But the more I play with it, the more obvious it is that it is stringy. And I have been making sure not to go outside in general without at least my hair in a ponytail or a braid or something, because I don't want people looking at my hair and saying, oh, her hair looks wet and dirty, she needs to wash it. If I at least have it in a ponytail, then it kind of hides it a little bit. So I'm really hoping that this applesauce mask does the trick and that I can use it on a regular basis. The instructions say that you can use it as much as every single day if you need to, so I'm hoping that it will help me. Putting applesauce in my hair is a lot like flour paste. So you part it and you scrub it in, and then you part it somewhere else and scrub it in, and part it somewhere else and scrub it in, and putting it in the ponytail. You try and go like this, and it just wants to stay on the outside, so then you have to massage it in with your fingers, and it goes in pretty easy, but it's a little bit of work. And then sitting there for an hour with it in my hair, it smelled like apple pie, but with no spices. So it smelled pretty good. I did, get a little bit bored, do some arts and crafts, but other than that, it was pleasant. And then rinsing it out is also like flour, because if you don't do a good enough job rinsing it out, you're gonna have a lot of flakes in your hair. Hopefully, once my hair dries and the apple piece is dry, I'll just be able to use a brush and brush it all out. So I wouldn't do this if you have to go somewhere right after your shower, just because it takes a little bit of extra work. But we'll see how it turns out once it's dry, and I hope it goes well. Putting applesauce in my hair is very similar to apple cider vinegar. The result is it doesn't feel like it has hair wax buildup, but it's kind of, this time it's not really stringy, it's more of like a clumpy, but you know, you can see it, like it's kind of stiff. And I definitely think part of it is the fact that when you go to, look at how stiff that is. Part of it is when you go to rinse out the applesauce, that some of the minerals get put back into the hair. But overall, it works. It definitely doesn't have that resistant, sticky residue feel. And I would say that it got out the oil too. My hair looks a lot brighter. If we can, there, see, my hair doesn't look so dark. And yeah, if I went to go kind of put it up, it would look pretty clean. But I still wouldn't want to leave it down. I still would want to put it in a braid or in a ponytail or something like that. It does feel really smooth. It feels a lot less dry than when the apple cider vinegar was left in my hair. It feels more conditioned and smooth, so that's definitely different. Something that concerns me just a little bit, but isn't so bad, is you can kind of see there's like little spots of white stuff in my hair. That is apple pieces. Kind of looks like dandruff. You can kind of see a few here and there. So I did brush a bunch of that out, but because it's apple, it's got sugar in it, when it dries it does stick to the hair, and then when you go to comb it out you can feel it tug. It's not so bad, you know, it's not like it's gonna tear your hair out, but you know, it is something I noticed, and that's just, I think the remedy for that would just be to not continually, but like throughout the day, just comb it, brush it, and then you know, clean off your comb and brush before you do it again. And eventually you'll at least get most of the pieces out, if not all of them. And I mean, it works. I would definitely do this again, but I wouldn't do it on a day where I have to be somewhere very soon, or I wouldn't do it where I have to be somewhere the next day because of just all of the pieces that are left behind. And at least now we know that there are two different options for preventing the buildup of hair wax in your hair. Leaving in apple cider vinegar and putting a applesauce mask on your hair for an hour, and then rinsing it out. So I hope these helped just a little bit, and have a nice rest of your day.